Has the head of the Wagner Group changed course on their withdrawal from Bakmut? Does it look that they are going to be sticking around for the foreseeable future? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. It is May 9th, 2023. This is your daily Ukraine update. Let's get into it. Okay. First, as always, guys, if you want to support the channel, check out combatvetnews.com. It has all the news stories that I can't get to. All my YouTube videos up here for free. YouTube has been cracking down harder and harder. I just actually had a CivDiv video where there is no combat at all. None. Zero. And it still got demonetized. So I don't really know what YouTube wants other than I guess they've decided the Ukraine war doesn't matter anymore. But if you want to support what I do, you can become a member. Any one of these tiers is going to get you access to the Discord, the private Discord room, and the members only content. Last Friday, we took a look at some crazy drone footage and even crazier footage from thermal sniper optics targeting Russian soldiers. It was wild stuff. So if you want to support what I do, combatvetnews.com is the place. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the front lines. As you guys can see, the biggest change, we still actually haven't, this is an update from over a day ago, but you can see the most interesting part is who is advancing, right? We know that it's generally regarded that the actual urban combat is being done by Wagner Group, but to the north, it's secured by the Russian VDV. But as you can see, again, just incremental gains by Wagner, which makes sense, right? They really are probably not very motivated at this point to risk their lives if they believe they're going to be withdrawing, which unfortunately might not be the case. When we go over to the combat map, you can see Russia again really trying to be much more deliberate with where they are attacking. Just 42 attacks across the entire eastern front line, again reflecting Russia is digging in. And you can see here again, what I think is most interesting is that this control map is actually assessing that Russian forces are on the outskirts of Chasiv Yar, which is unusual and differs a little bit from this map here that shows them as still a fair distance away from this main roadway. But it nonetheless reflects the considerable pressure that Ukrainian defensive forces are under, even as Russia continues to advance and launch attacks all along this southern prong. But that's not the real story. The real story we're here for is, of course, Russia's Wagner leader has reversed his threat to withdraw from Bakmut. Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner Group, announced Sunday that he sounds like he has extracted from the Russian MOD a promise of a considerable amount of ammunition, or at least artillery. They said, "We've been promised as much ammunition and armament as we need to keep going," he said in an audio statement released on his Telegram. This came 2 days after he ripped into Sergei Shoigu, who is overseeing the war for Moscow. Right? And he shamed them. If you give us normal ammunition, there will be 5 times less bodies here. He means 1/5 as many bodies. Right. This is, of course, a huge reversal. But it reflects the fact that in many ways, Russia and its MOD wants to pivot to the defensive. They've made no secret about it. Ukraine has made, I think actually incorrectly, no secret about its own counteroffensives. In one recent statement, they said they're preparing for it in May or June. Well, it's May 9th. So, at some point, guys, Russia, the element of surprise has tactical significance. And the longer you wait around, the better prepared Russia will be to thwart a counteroffensive. And right now we see clearly Russia's priority is to store munitions, save people for the defensive effort that they're going to be pivoting to. And instead, you've got this Prigozhin who really wants to be able to plant the flag and claim Bakmut as its own. but he needs the ammunition to do it. But he has effectively shamed the Russian MOD into giving up some of their precious ammunition to continue to take Bakhmut, where he can achieve his objectives, right? And politically, seizing the entirety of Bakhmut is just so important for the Wagner group and for Prigozhin's own political survival that he has effectively shamed the Russian MOD to deprioritize their own defensive efforts and instead focus on the offensive work in Bakmut, which is crazy, which is just, again, it's a sign that for all the flaws and questionable decision-making by Ukrainian command, at least Ukraine has unity of command. Russia it's not even clear that they have an objective for the war. Certainly no one has said what the public victory conditions are in this conflict other than vague truisms, right? But without, Prigozhin is here to make Prigozhin as wealthy and powerful as possible. Kadyrov is here to make Kadyrov as wealthy and powerful as possible. The Russian MOD is there to, presumably make their careers, win a war. Putin seems to be here to achieve some unspecified political objective. It's just no one really knows what a win condition is. And as the U.S. saw in Afghanistan and Iraq, if you can't clearly define a win state, then you're never going to achieve it, right? It's like trying to say, well, I want to be happy. It's like that's not a like condition you can achieve, right? It's a subjective feeling that comes and goes because life has ups and downs, right? So in war, just like in life, right, you can't have these vague, undefinable objectives. I want to do my best. It's like it's not a achievable condition, right? We can all do a little better. So anyway, that's how Russia's running its war now, I guess. Thanks as always, guys. If you want to support me, combatvetnews.com is the place. Thanks as always to our Combat Vet News members. I really couldn't do this without you guys, all our lieutenant tier members, and especially our colonel tier members. You guys, your support means everything to me. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.